This copy took me 4 hours to write. There's no AI, and I think it'll perform way better than any of that personalized bullshit that you're probably sending now, that I've sent, by the way. Uh, Almost all of my engagements, I use AI copy, almost all of them. This is a friend of mine that is selling a service that is sort of brand new, where he's had plenty of conversations with the owner. So what we're going to do in this video is I'm going to break down every last piece of the copy here, why I wrote it, why it's important, every last word, every last concept, so that you have a guide to be able to reverse. I always think about Charlie Munger's invert, to be able to reverse from what looks great backwards into the system that has built it. This is always the way that you should approach it, because if you don't know one message to send to one good prospect that is in the exact situation that your product solves, which you have to find, by the way, if you can't do that, then you can't scale anything. So we're going to give you the template that you can work backwards from. No personalization. In this case, there's no data even. And so almost all of my messages are very data driven. They are about targeting. In this case, there actually is like bad targeting. So what can compensate for bad targeting? Well, a really great message can. So we're going to walk you through why this message took me 4 hours to write, these 3 messages, and what they mean. So let's dive in. Before, you should know this is context for a friend of mine that runs a company that does basically dishwashing as a service, and they use a robot to do it. And the whole idea behind this is that you can replace your labor. You literally can just totally replace them, because it is a service that has a mechanical component to it, right? What they're actually selling you is a replacement of the people, but they are able to unlock the labor savings. So it might take your person 10 hours to do it, and it takes him 5, and that means he can charge you 7. You can still get 10 hours worth of value. All right, so let's dive in. Okay, hey first, pretty standard. I could change this here, but in the preview, they're going to say see their first name, right? That's fine. Did your dishwasher no-show again? This, I spent an unbearable amount of time asking questions like, is it economic savings? What's the problem? Well, for restaurant owners, the problem is that they have a no-show, that someone at the last minute just doesn't show. And that is a visceral thing. They remember cleaning dishes. They know what it's like to call someone on shift. And so that's all, that is so important. You're setting the emotional scene that they're in, right? You're saying, I'm going to talk about this problem of yours. Now, we did a comparison. What if you could outsource your dish pit? So I didn't say dish robot. I didn't say, I'm actually saying something they do right now. They have a linen and a cleaning crew. So right now, restaurants will hire a cleaning crew to come in and clean the whole place, right? They're used to outsourcing that. That's like a motion they're used to. It's great. They don't think about it. They come in clean. So they know what the outcome looks like, right? And then I'm basically saying, yo, what if you could do this same thing that you already do? I'm connecting to a behavior that you're already aware of, and say, just apply it to this thing, right? If you could do that, would you? And that would solve this problem, right? So I've talked not about my solution at all. I've not personalized this, nothing, right? Where they live. So I'm really specific here about where this person lives. It's a district in San Francisco. And this is really important. That means I am a local. I'm appealing to unity, which is a Robert Cialdini concept, right? We are in the same group. We both live in San Francisco. I'm not someone selling you from outside this. And I'm in San Francisco because I'm calling out a specific district. I am basically, these are social proof, right? This is or authority, really. Like, I have authority to be building this business because I am a super, super legit person. And then what is this, right? We build a robot to wash your dishes on site. So the thing is that technically it's not just a robot, it's a robot service. But I asked him, I said, well, what's the pitch? What's the thing that gets them interested? It's like, well, they're like super interested in the robot, and they have a bunch of questions. I'm not trying to answer those questions here. I'm just trying to open up curiosity. And it's cheaper than your people. So here's a robot, and I'm selling against the people, right? It's cheaper than your people. I am implying here that the robot will replace your people, which that is not exactly true. It's a service that replaces the people, that uses a robot. But those types of details we can get into on a call. There is an information gap. How can a robot replace people? I don't understand. I want to learn more. This is good. Then this is saying scarcity, right? Another Robert Cialdini. Not every layout works for us. It's not a slam dunk. You can't just buy. No one can just buy. We need to make sure that the robot works in your situation. Can I swing out, check out your kitchen and show you? So actually, we wouldn't bring the robot over in this first example, but I'm implying that we will. Can I show you? Can I show you how it works? Not necessarily can I show you the robot, but that's the thing that people want to see. So this is just opening up a conversation, and can I swing by, right? So that's really important. Can I swing by? And I hate this, but I know it performs well. We're going to give them 100. We've had ChatGPT do some deep research here and find us 100 fun facts about San Francisco. All right. Then I said, what is the second biggest thing that causes consternation? Are your dish guys heads down looking at their phones at 2:30 because the dishes are done, right? So this is like, hey, they actually are finished early, but you can't unlock that savings, it turns out. But that is the problem, that they're like, yeah, I see them there. It's 2:30. I'm still paying them, right? So this is a very common occurrence, especially on a Wednesday or a Tuesday. And you're like, yeah, it really frustrates me. And then I said something fun. We price the plates, not the weights. So there's a lot of waiting around for dishwashers. And then we talk about his co-founder, right? Formerly Google's youngest employees and 10 years in robotics, right? Expertise, right? Super, super crazy tech impressive person and 10 years in the field, right? Really, really, they understand what this looks like. And we both of us built the robot-powered service. So now we're talking about the robot-powered service. So what I'm trying to do here is slowly introducing this concept that it's not just a fly-by-night thing here. And it's own 100% of your dish pit. So it's like to own everything. So, okay, great. And then this is qualification, right? Do you have 5 hours a day of dishwashing? So what I'm saying tacitly to you, and qualification is also disqualification. So if they're like, no, we have 3 hours, great, they're disqualified. But now I've said something very specific to say this is only right if you have more dishwashing than X, Y, or Z. So that is about who we can really help and reduce your labor costs. So you have a qualification condition and a value prop here. You're trying to save money on labor costs. If those two things are true, you're perfect for us. I'm actually actively disqualifying for you because the people that receive this, that don't meet this, I don't want to sell to them anyways. But they say, great, if you're amenable to reducing your labor costs and you have more than 5, that means you're absolutely perfect, right? That means that I'm not speaking to everyone. This is actually where a good quality list would help, because we wouldn't send this to people that don't have this. But reduce your labor costs, I won't be able to know. Can I drop and see if your layout works for our tech? So basically saying this is technology. This is not just random people. It's not just a service. Like, we need to see if your space works. Again, scarcity, right? Not again, that's not my job. Your server after being told to hop on dish. So this is like a phrase that the hop on dish. Can you hop on dish? That's like a phrase they use. And also this is a visceral moment, right? I always start with sort of these visceral moments. What is it? Oh my gosh. Yes, that sucks. It sucks to tell your server to actually go do dishes. That's not my job. That's not what I want to be doing. And the more you have to ask your server to do that, a lot less likely that they will, keep coming back, basically. Never again. That's the tagline of our company, right? You'll never have to experience this again. We do every dish so you don't have to, right? The value promise. We're doing every single dish. That's what we do. We're closing this round of customers, so last chance to see the robot. Want me to come by? So this is like saying, hey, the robot's the thing they see. Like, at the very least, you're going to be like, oh, this is amazing. And I'm dropping SF fun facts. This took me a long time to do because I'm always reminded of the Mark Twain quote, sorry, I wrote such a long letter I didn't have time for a short one. And that's kind of the vibe here, right? It's like we spent a lot of time writing a long letter so that we can reduce it. And you can see the format's pretty similar. Emotional resonance of the problem, something that you've done before, the social proof, right? Something that you do all the way today. This is not as innovative as you might think. You're already doing some version of this. And then this is scarcity. And like, oh, how cool is this, right? So I'm basically saying this is qualification, this is scarcity. So you can see a lot of the Robert Cialdini principles play out here, and this is what it looks like. This is what the system looks like. And notice there's no personalization here, there's no variables, none of that stuff. I'm just trying to write like a person to another person, structuring my sales pitch in a friendly way possible so you know I'm a person, not some autonomous sales rep. So this is what good copy looks like. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a beautiful day. And I hope that my explanation of great copy will just to help you inspire to write better copy here. Shorter copy, copy that is not necessarily shorter, but copy that is really relevant to the problem, is about the pain, it's about the situation that they are in, and it's broken down by the principles of Robert Cialdini's influence too. All right. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful Sunday. Bye.